What's good, man? It's OG Drip, man. This channel where we talk about the spiritual truth and how to utilize energy on a day-to-day basis, man. Check this out, dog. Today, man, we finna get into it, bro. We finna talk about this education system. Y'all already know. We already get on the conscious, we get on the religious people, we get on everybody, the cult leader, all that, the weirdos, the separated, the new agers, the flat earth thing, because we get on everybody, conspiracy theories, everybody on this channel, because at the end of the day, y'all have to understand there's only two minds in this thing. It's either their mind or your mind. And you don't understand, their mind come with a lot of connections, a lot of screens. It's like a whole damn spider web when you're dealing with it. You ever seen that? Spider, you get caught up in the web, the spider just sitting there getting ready to come up to you and get you. So like if we're looking at it from that, we would just say like an alien abduction thing as well. So if you're looking at your spirit as being like an alien, your mind as being like a spaceship, which I think about all the time and say all the time on this channel, is think about a motherfucker actually controlling your mind. Like, yeah, you jumped inside of this, but now this ain't even your mind. Like, it's getting controlled. You don't have no actual control of it. Because when you look at your body, no matter what all the things that you can move, you actually have control of your body. Nobody else has control over your body at the time unless you're hooked up to some new machinery that they're trying to come up with now and try to force it down. But y'all get the point that I'm making out, right? So when it comes down to this education system, what we have to break down is it do not make sense because of you can do the same thing that someone else did and do not become as successful. And they even tell you that when you go through the education system. So it's like, it's one of those things that selfly hit itself in the foot and the mouth. But the thing is between that, the mouth and the reading and stuff like that, okay, we all is relating to things. So that's cool. That's cool. Now, we're not saying everything that these people doing is incorrect. But what we're saying is when they try to involve it with spirituality without actually telling no one, when they put in like atom and electrons and Eve, shit like that, and they're trying to play out something that happened that actually didn't happen, and they're starting to make it, try to bring it to this physical realm, that's when we got to be worried, right? Because that's when we got to know, y'all, it's two worlds too. It's the spirit world and the physical world. A lot of people like to take things from the physical world and think this is what the spiritual world look like, due to that you're living in a body where you have awareness of seeing things that's already shaped, which is like we say, lights that bent in and ideas and stuff like that are already been created and done been brought to a manifestation. So this is what we mean by manifestation. Has nothing to do with what your level of, your level of studying further is just that, bro. It's like everything have its category for a reason. You need all of this stuff at the same time, but you need to use it as weapons, not to get used by it. Because when you fall into things like a religion, if they don't get you there, they'll get you with Scientology, right? Where they'll have you believing that they know everything and the reason why it exists. The same thing I be saying all the time. These people can't even tell you how to make water. What you want to talk about? You're talking about purifying, you're talking about all this and that. That's not a form of making water. That's a form of morphing it. So they also have things where they lie about gravity. They lie about the world of how it operates, how it spins. They tell us, like, they even lie about the planets. They make it like they're actual things, like they're actual things. Due to you can see it, or due to they see it by the eye, they try to convince you that it's something that's actually there. But we all know when we get deep down into it, you guys, it's actually talking about energy that was produced. And what this energy is coming from is like right from the beginning. It's coming from the thoughts and the emotions behind it, which some people don't understand. This is what we call like an explosion. If you wanted to explain something coming to somebody, right? So this is where, like, scientists get Big Bang theories and stuff like that. This is where it's coming from. Because I'm rooting all that to you, so guys, so you can see that no matter how you think, if you're thinking inside a category that they already built, you already got. Even if you're a new ager, even when it comes to gender, if you like, hey, no ethnicity, even if you be like, hey, I'm an African American, they lied about that type of stuff. They lied about so much stuff that they have to keep digging holes. And then when they dig holes, they like the salt pepper on the back, right? Where they tell the truth, but now they come out with it all smooth and soft. And then they blame it on the person that was teaching it, right? They always got a finger to point at, right? They be like, oh, Bill Nye the Science Guy, it was you that told us gravity was real, and now that we find this fake, oh, now we all on you and stuff. I don't know why my mustache growing like this, y'all. It grows so fast. I'm telling y'all. But anyways, man, to the fact that now you got people that don't understand what's going on. The education system have failed so bad that their only way of knowing something is brought through a history book. So this go along with the conscious community. This go along with the religion people. This go along with the cults, all that things where they have to have a practice of a certain book that was wrote by a certain individual. It don't matter how many individuals wrote the book. It don't matter about none of that, because this person is telling you the mindset that they was gave. So you got to remember, everybody not born with the same mind, but they didn't teach you that. They taught everybody was born with the same mind, technically in 12 different groups. Now what they did is try to map out the world and try to play the role of God by saying, hey, these 12 groups is what we need in the world. So if these 12 groups is not going to, if you can't have these 12 groups, then you're not going to be able to succeed in the world that we're trying to create it in, right? So they go to try to control those 12 groups, where that the education and stuff that you're trying to get is only could work for this realm in reality. That people don't understand actual spirituality. Like, that people don't understand awareness. So they're thinking that even to this fact that it still has to be something showed out, something drawn, but at the same time, they can't show you an atom. It's weird. So when you start to even look at, they trying to hide the truth always stick out. So what I be saying is, y'all look at all those religions and don't pick a side and don't play all parties and like, you know, like, oh, I want to be this today, I want to be that today. But at the same time, understanding the bags that they get in, understanding why they even develop the thought process, it'll help you understand why the education system is a failure. And what I mean by a failure, I mean a failure to the spiritual ends, right? And we don't want to talk about no Christian academies and none of that there, because they're still teaching a way that a person should know. If that's the case, let it come to them and natural. Don't give them nothing to persuade them. Don't give them nothing to persuade their mind, aka something that's floating around a spaceship for they alien to jump in and now get abducted by their type of knowledge and start studying their degrees and stuff. So when it comes down to that, they have been proving themselves wrong. But it's not as easy as that when you're controlling the whole world. You can't just come out and tell the people, hey, it's all a lie. The government said all the time they can't do that part. So if you think about it, why? Because people will fall out. And even that, people are so stuck and so deep into these rituals that they won't even believe the people themselves that's trying to tell them. I tell y'all this, man. It's sad, because no matter what they do, it's just because they're so stuck onto, and they'll put so much work and passion and all of this into things that they don't even see what it's actually for. And like I tell y'all all the time, they got a whole staircase, a whole judge, a whole gate and all in heaven. And you like, damn, heaven is a whole nother place. But yet they don't realize they making heaven out of a place of this earth. And it got nothing to do with this like that. We have things that's like from the heavens of what we would call, right? And it depends on what degree you looking at it. So if you was to read these education systems, they'll just tell you, right? They just throw out, hey, he was a god. But then give you a description of what a god is. And then later on contradict the same description of what a god actually is. So that's what I mean by the failure of it. Instead of them coming up with words to admit, hey, we was wrong, or we don't know, so we're going to tell you guys you don't know, and we don't have no access of us finding out, so we're going to make you guys the only way you can find out is through us. So if we don't know it, you don't know it, so therefore you'll never question it. So that goes on in everything, bro. Religion, the education system, like I said, and everything. So when we're thinking about that, what do we have the world doing? We have, of course, everybody know it's all about business. It's all about politics. It's all about what's this and what's that, what look better, what the people want, what's more accepted by the world. But yet this is all something, a way they designed it. So when we start to look at these things, we start finding out more and more of the truth. They lied about light. They lied about planets moving. They lied about the movement of how we're moving. They're saying that the planets and everything above us is moving, and it's literally just us. It's just talking about the rotation of the earth. So when they're trying to talk about all this stuff spinning, they have to run back and they have to contradict themselves by saying, hey, at the end of the day, it could be that we're like, go through their own science. You'll see how it contradict themselves. So you'll have scientists having battles with each other, right? Where you're supposed to be looking at the education system and thinking the scientist is the most hired overall. But these two having a battle between each other, that this guy here trying to prove that light move at this speed, this guy trying to prove that this make light move, and all this and that, and it's like at the end of the day, they both arguing about something that they neither one of them have actual proof to, but they're trying to create concept of this is why. And nobody is there to tell them, like, no, it's not. Where are you getting that from, right? Because they have no connection to the spiritual world. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's literally two different worlds. Like, these people don't have a knowledge of knowing what already done happened. Like, they don't have that. So what they have to do is study history. Have to go by his stories. So they have to go by another person's story. And who to tell you that person was even good from the beginning? So when you have to go through things like that, you don't have no trust into knowing your spirit. You have more trust in a man. And what made us comfortable with that is the education system. It made us feel more superior than others. So when you have someone with a bachelor degree talking to a middle school dropout, that bachelor degree person feel like they're more successful in life and feel like they're going way more further due to the world playing out to them is giving them and fitting their needs, but they don't realize they're fitting the world needs. Like I said, they're being a perfect good puppet. So when we breaking down things like this, we can also see that the education system has to hold up a certain thing, because not saying, hey, your kids shouldn't learn nothing, because I feel like it do teach certain things. But when it comes down to a certain amount of time and a certain amount of years taken up of your life, and then when you're looking at the life expense and the way that you live, that's your whole life being taken up, right? Where something that don't take that long for you to learn. And if you're going to take something your whole life to learn it, what would be the point of learning it? As soon as you learn it, you're dead. So it's like a whole turnover thing, right? Where only certain people is agreeing to make it somewhere. And then the thing about it is, it don't matter about your education sometimes. It matter about the people you know sometimes. And this can go further as you just trying to get a job in the hood, all the way up to if you're trying to get a job in some type of Masonic lodge or trying to be some type of stadium representative. It depends on who you know. If you knew this little dude before he became a master mason and he still remember you and stuff like that, he might mess with you. He might put you in there and tie you in with the people and keep a brotherhood code and stuff like that. But it's coming with those oaths and what up and whatever. But damn, I be going so fast sometimes. I got to slow down, man. Because I know sometimes y'all be like, what the hell did bro just say? But I'm telling y'all, man, it be just coming out fluent. I don't have to sit here and think about it. I don't have to sit here and put up a presentation. I don't have to sit up here and do research for 3 weeks just to come back and get into what I'm trying to discuss. No. Anytime I'm starting to do that, that means I need somebody else's words. I need somebody else's story. I have to go look for someone else. And that's the thing about it, bro. If the education system had done lacked so much to not even giving us hidden knowledge about even they try to make it look light work too. They be like, okay, all right, we got a black African American museums and stuff like that. You can go learn about it. But it's still limited. It's still talking about what they want you to know. And everybody know when they go up in there, they get gut feelings of like, hey, something ain't right about our race, no matter what race it is. I'm telling you, it's always like, hold on, something is hidden. But then that's when you guys got to realize there's more to it than race, because they don't care. It's all about getting people that look like you to fool you. So when it comes down to the education system, when you're looking at a person that you thought looked like you, but a better form of you, you even start putting that in your mind. They be like, how do you see yourself in future? You see yourself with a little business suit on, all this type of stuff, and that probably ain't even you. And you don't even realize, like, damn, I'm actually feeling the mind of someone else. I'm actually living somebody else's life. So the whole time you living, you basically living for no reason. If you're not in tech, and I'm not saying it like that, but to a sense of saying like a logic. You get what I'm saying? Like you're living unlogical even for yourself. If you want to proceed into growth, you're not trying to grow. And I doubt if nobody don't want to grow, especially when it comes to mental, spiritual, or emotional. Like, come on, you get what I'm saying? So, like, at the end of the day, you do have people that gave up on the world, but at one point in time, they was like that as well. And they blame that. You can blame that on the education system as well as too, because some people feel like because they went and got a degree into certain things that they're promised a job until they get hit on the other side of the door and find out that ain't all you needed. You needed a little bit more. Sometimes they you just didn't fit the criteria, as they'll tell you. But no, people don't realize this is a way of control. I'm still telling you what you're capable of doing and what you're not. So when it comes down to God's gifts, I don't give a damn about that. I'm telling you what to do. And so therefore, they're telling you to put God on the back burner with a lot of these different things. So I was breaking down another thing, too, about this education thing, because it's deep. Because you have academies, right, where they hurry up and teach things. So I already know somebody probably going to mention that, like, yo, Drew, they have speeded up school. But the level that they teach these things on, these things, these math, this reading, all that, have no actual thing of how you living. If you think about the movies and shit you seen with the cavemans and all them, they didn't know how to read or none of that, if you want to put it like that, but they knew how to survive. They knew what not to do. They knew if something had this sensor to it, not to mess with it. But nowadays, everyone want to so aware to things and want to mess with certain shit and talk about certain shit. Certain shit you shouldn't talk about. Like, for example, you shouldn't be talking about the dead, but the people don't realize all the education system teaching you is how everything in this world dead, but we don't want to accept that it's the realm of the dead, right? So some people are sitting here and they praising things, deadly flesh, and this is the reason why I say I blame the education system, because it has so many things behind it that's supporting religion, or if the religion ain't supporting Scientology, if the sciences ain't supporting it, it's something supporting one another, just all hold up one lie. You feel what I'm saying? And that lie, I mean to hold that one lie, because they know if this truth get out about the way that is perceived, that we actually is up here just on purpose taking people inverted. Oh man, everybody gonna know then, even if they're a Christian, they gonna know they're a Satanist. You see what I'm saying? They gonna all know they actually been the same religion the whole time. But we separated them just to pick it easier to pick from. Cause you know what I'm saying? We ain't want to fight. And they do it with gangs, they do it with everything. That's why they have RICOs and all this type of stuff here. And then I blame, like, bro, so when it come down to it, when you want to, like, say the education system, the reason why I'm saying that is because you have lawyers, right? Where they'll look at something and that's all they is, y'all. They don't have but so much power sometimes where they could get things done. But that's it. They still have to go through a power of what? A judge. So when it come down to these things, the judge still have a higher power than everybody else in the court. So when it come down to things like this, y'all got to remember these things do exist. So what makes this person throughout their life more better than you? And y'all both could have became a judge at the same time. Y'all could have became a judge at 40 years old at the same time. And you could have did everything, went to law school and all, but what would make that person pick? And it's easier to say, hey, it's not enough jobs. It's not enough this and that there. It's easy to suit around excuses to fit their needs, which is the reason why they have everybody just distracted. So you don't really have time to think. That's just like shout out to the conscious community. They always talk about that, how the world take up so much of your time that you don't even have a time enough to think for yourself, to yourself, or nothing. So it's already made, okay, 8 hours of the day you go in here. And if you're not 8 hours of the day working or something, it's somewhere you're going to spend that time. And they know that because they meet the necessary needs. Now, what I'm saying is not to say that you don't need those needs, but the way that they'll give you those needs is going to be very limited depending on your education level. And sometimes depending on your education level, still ain't going to get it through. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's still a failure. And not only that, it's pulling you back from being spiritually aligned, because the way that they're teaching it is they're teaching off of the spirit. So sometimes people don't understand. They're looking at it like, oh, how this person even got in that mind? But they don't realize they're actually doing that. So they're like, oh, why did Albert Einstein think like that? Why did it? And to be honest, y'all, I don't like none of them damn people. But I have to give the shit, the categorized shit. You get what I'm saying? That's like using astrology. I wish I could change the names of the things and still have everybody relating to it. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been calling it stick, bones, swords, apple. Like, I'd have named it a whole bunch of different stuff just to show you it's not the name and the category. It's the energy that come out behind these things. So when I be trying to tell y'all this, it breaks down to saying, hey, they giving you what a category is. They're giving you a reason of what something means, what it means, and how it's used, and all this and that there. So they're giving you a terminology of what is going on. So when we're talking to each other, most of the ways we're relating is through their words. So if I have to use their education system to talk to you guys, to explaining how it's not actual education, it's actual psyching people. You get what I'm saying? Reverse psychology is actually psyching people into thinking that they're bigger than something they're actually not. So they're sitting there like, hey, I'm doing things right by God. Some people feel like, you know what I'm saying? They be like, man, God, no, I wanted to do the right thing, and here it comes. So this is let you know good intentions don't get you nowhere either. So this is what I'm saying. It don't matter about that. It all about how you could find out to gain knowledge and go to church with God. See, so some people thinking you actually got to go to church, actually in his body and stuff like that. No, you need to learn how to come to yourself and be able to sit there and be able to receive messages from things that's not in this world. When y'all be thinking about things in this world, you start making it like it's hard for God to help you. It's like I'm trying to give you exactly what you want, but the more I'm trying to give you what you want, you starting to make it damn too exact. You starting to put too much logic to it, too much stuff. You're sounding like the devil, aka the devil is full of logic. So when we coming down to this type of stuff, man, it breaks down to show us like, hey, you been fooled, you been tricked. They can tell you anything. The next thing they'll be talking about is they lied about is, you know what I'm saying? And the main thing is free energy. So when you think about it, energy is free. So another one of those holdups is they have to make it seem like light, electricity, all of this stuff is being conducted and controlled by them. But yet you can still see it going on in the air. And so now they try to do other things with controlling the air and stuff like that, which as well as them trying to prove a point as well. So when they trying to cover these holes, when they trying to cover this lie, but they did the million fucking holes. And that's why I be like, it's a million ways you could get psyched out. Because they'll have you really thinking that the spiritual world really is the physical. They're really thinking you can step on the moon. You can't. So that's why the education lie. You can't step on the sun, bro. You can't step on the moon, bro. The sun not hot, bro. It's so much to it. To like, y'all, that's why I be telling y'all, bro, really a spiritual nigga right now, bro, if they can make time for it, I'm telling y'all, if they on not being funny, if they actually subconsciously aligned, they could actually get up this bitch and make videos for days and days and days and days and days and days to come, and it's never going to stop. And even if it's saying repetitional to you, you have to understand you've been put under a routine of stuff being said in a certain riddle the whole time. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you know how you got affirmations, right? They gave you their affirmations, and their affirmations is full of logic and bullshit, which you at the end of the day you'll have to come to them to get it to be fulfilled and filled out. So when I be talking about that overall happiness and stuff, I ain't talking about like, hey, I'm happy God got a house. Oh, I'm happy God got this. No, I'm happy just to have life itself. I'm happy just to be able to have thoughts. I'm happy to be able to have emotions. I'm happy to be able to see somebody's thought and emotions get exposed, whether it's a fucked up individual or whatever the fuck it is. I'm happy to see that shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit is crazy. This shit is miracle work, especially with some of these people being born out. Oh man, I fuck with the weirdos. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just showing us of how energy could get put down, to put down, to put down, to put down. And speaking of that, man, y'all already know I broke down the Naruto Boruto thing, right? With the same energy being out through now they have to get to the kids. To now that the kid have this energy mixed with the other parent energy. And then you think about it, when that kid have a baby, whoever that one having, whoever he have a sexual intercourse with or relationships with, they're gonna build the same thing. Because now we talking about this fire energy. Just say for instance, right, a person that's good with swords and a person good with guns have a baby with a person that's good with swimming and a person that's good at skydiving or something like that. 9 times out of 10, this person, the baby is gonna have a more higher chance of being able to fulfill one of those areas. So this is why also in astrology, we say also pay attention to the anatomy, because you got to look at the people parents sometimes. When their parents a bunch of shit, you just got to look at that zodiac like, oh, they got the shit stick of their zodiacs. Every zodiac I'm looking at on their alignment, yeah, they might mean this and mean that. But for this person, which make us different, that's why we personal bodies, and people be mad about being a person and be talking about it as a curse. It's not a curse, bro. The curse is what we living through the world and the way that they play things out. Y'all got to stop thinking like that. It already ran you away from your own knowledge to that you have to trust the education system, even if they throw it in there and say it's from Kemet. Even if they throw it in there and say it's from Africa. That doesn't mean it's actually real because you have no knowledge of it. That's like somebody just being because they have a higher rank and a higher social status, that AKA they mean they got more power than you. That's literally what that means. That's the 10th house type of shit. And I be telling people that all the time. These people fulfill those areas of your life because it's needed. It's needed. That's how the world was basically created, right? So when we looking at it, saying God 360, that's why when you breaking down shit, 30 days is 12 months and shit like that, without even trying to do the exact calculation, you know what I'm saying? You see it's 12 months. You see it's, if you do 12 times goddamn, if you do 12 times 30, you get 360. So you see how if you did 12 multiple times coming across, 30 coming across multiple times, how it would lead up to the same amount. So at the end of the day, this be the shit that they be trying to confuse you with, right? Because they'll be like, okay, that's how you got to find God. You got to find God through business. God brought you this relationship. God brought you this job. Aquarius, that's what, the 11th house, my bad. Yeah, God brought you this home and this people, like, you know what I'm saying? So they put it in a way that they could fulfill that. So you don't know what actually come from God if you're not intact with God. God be like, bitch, I ain't give you that. You think I'm going to give you something that's tied up with all that bullshit so you can be pulled down at the end? It's like you went up to fall down harder. I ain't going to give you no shit like that. So we got to remember that too as well. And life comes with ups and downs. The way the education system and stuff put it out, it's like, hey, it's no ups and downs. Once you learn this, it's only ups. Like, no, it's other things that come in effect, right? Where some astrologers not even bringing out realistic shit. Where they're just like, hey, Libras, do this. Hey, Virgos, just do this. Hey, Sagittarius, just do this. Hey, Aquarius, just, no. And it don't work for every one of them. You can't say, hey, Aquarius sun, stop hanging around your friends and stuff like that. And this Aquarius sun stay in the hood and his friends not think he the police and stuff because the time he picked to stop hanging around them is dead doing this. See what I'm saying? And now they want to kill the man. You don't talk the man into a death sentence. So at the end of the day, this is what I be saying about real astrologers. Real shit, bro. Real spirits is here, bro. A lot of people might not want to accept it, bro. It's going to hurt. But the fucking truth hurts. That got to be the title of this video, though, for real. And the thing about it is, we have to realize the shit we was taught was just wrong, bro. No matter how they try to teach it to you, hey, y'all African Americans, y'all would see what happened was you came from Africa, you moved to America. It don't even make sense. Then they forced it to make sense by trying to say that Africa was called America at one point, and it's like, bro, why y'all got to go through all that just to call a person this, but this person over here ain't called that. So at the end of the day, they go through all these lies to keep covering lies, and the more you're trying to dig into that shit, the more you're going to fall. It's a fucking hole. Stop digging in it. Just know that it's bullshit when you see it. You see what I'm saying, bro? And it make me mad because that's what I'm saying. The real spirits here, the nigga that can see right through that bullshit. Nope. Nope, get your bitch ass from out of here. You over here with that fuck shit. You talking some crazy shit that nobody believe in, and you trying to get people to believe in your shit. So then everybody can have the same dumbass mind you got, and everybody be around here crashing into each other. Everybody's spaceship in the same fucking field just crashing. Everybody's meant to be different for a fucking reason, bro. You could be born the same date as the person, same month as the person. Then they switch the whole year on you. Oh shit, they got a different Pluto. They got a different Saturn. Oh shit, they got different, like, for real, the longer the time go, the more the planets have a time to move in. Then you got the people with the same planets, same birthday, same year. And guess what? They not the fucking same. Why? Because of their background information, the area that they was born in. Like, bro, y'all, come on, man. This shit deep, and that's why I be saying, bro, I'm not sitting up here going to kick some only astrologer shit or making it sound like, yes, only heaven. Or I'm not going to sit here and sit no straight anatomy shit where it's like, oh, yeah, earthly. Oh, yes, let's do this. No, that's what a lot of Virgos and a lot of conscious niggas on this fucking internet keep doing, and it make it hard for niggas like me to explain shit. I got to go chop and block and knock shit out just because as soon as I say one word, it sound like them niggas and shit like that. So now you got to straighten it out. I'm like, hold on, oh. Them niggas was on one and they lost themselves. I stayed on the right path. Look at the string of connection. All this shit connected to each other. No matter how you look at it. You talking about the religion all the way down to a fucking education system. Some people might not be looking at it like that. Then why do you have to learn from a exterior source about this information? See what I'm saying? Oh, they ain't got to teach us. I got the book myself. Duh. It's already pre-written. So if you're reading from the idea, that's what's going on. You don't know what made them develop that idea though, huh? You think they're just the type of person they was just because of what they wrote in the book. One thing about it, they can't tell you what they was. One thing about it, bro, a person right now like me can't tell you everything I done did and all the fears and shit I done faced in my life and the principles and the angles and shit and morals that had to be broke and all this shit there. Learning about acceptance and learning to break away from acceptance. Boy, you got to learn how to do all that shit. You got to learn how to take in all this shit and drop it all. So when I be telling people to survive in this world, how to be actual spiritual, not no fucking conscious community, we're sitting out there like, yeah, we wolves. We wolves. Fuck y'all. Y'all sheeps. No, don't throw away that damn sheep clothing, bro. Keep your sheep clothing. Keep your sheep clothing, because sometimes you need to put the wool on and act just like the rest of the sheep. Because one thing about it, they see you as a wolf coming all the time. They know how to attack you. So sometimes you got to protect yourself as in being emotional too. So sometimes you be like, oh, you sheep and y'all dumb and nah, bro, that's what make the sheep will be even more sheep too. So I'm talking to the spiritual people that's trying to educate, aka the woke community, the aggressive motherfuckers that's trying to teach you about somebody else's fucking history. Like they fucking knew this man hands on hand. It don't matter if they did, they don't know every life experience a nigga got. Everybody got skeletons in the closet, dog. That same nigga that's around you, the reason why he act like that is because of this. Even if it's a good thing, the reason why this nigga like this is because of what the fuck he been through. So it all comes with building character. When it get down to this world, not no fucking education of talking about some reading and shit. Because reading and all that is not going to help you survive when something bites your dumb ass or you're in the water drowning and you got other things where people ain't got to kill you. Where people ain't got to necessarily hurt you. You can hurt your goddamn self. You get what I'm saying? Not knowing, hey, when you get hit like this, you got to shake it off. I'm telling you right now, people from the hood, they jump out of being knocked out way quicker than the person that never been knocked out before. I'm telling you now, boy. Crackheads and all. As soon as you knock them out, bam, right the foot back up. I'm telling y'all, bro. It's like getting knocked out of damn. Like, hey, that's normal to me. So the same thing I look at when I see old heads and shit. I be like, shit, if I hit a jit, you know, it's going to hurt them more. They ain't been through much. Their skin ain't been pierced as much. This old head done had 33 years of beating. So you got to look at the conscience. You got to look at all this shit like that. So when some of these people old, you can't look at it like, oh, they actually an older spirit because they old. No. You got to look at it as that they being educated by dinosaur history. And then you probably had a caveman history. And they probably got the Jetsons history. But it's some type of man in the suit history. It's not talking about actual spiritual world. They make the spiritual world look like this world. This world is not what the fuck the spiritual world look like, you know, nigga? Like, y'all making it out of everything out of looks and actual physical shapes. And that's when they get hit with geometry so bad and get hit with geometry. And oh my God, it have everybody messed up because people don't understand numerology, which is another code of how to relate things, right? Of understanding how a frequency is high, how something is low, what is the lowest point of something, what is the highest point of something. So when people get it broke down, they don't understand you have a higher self, a lower self. And all that means is your higher self just saying ideals in a way that you might be looking at for things, aka looking in the clouds, and your lower may be the way that you're looking at it for your earthly needs, what you're trying to get done now. Like, man, shit, I don't want to do it, but hey, I got to get this shit done. And sometimes it come there where you got to switch and swap. So I'm trying to teach you how to live out here, not get fucked up. Because I seen my boy Enoch, the Freestyle Prince, man. That boy was in the damn Walmart, looked like he done lost his mind, and I wasn't gonna put it in the video, but y'all see how slick I am? I put that bitch in the goddamn ending of the video, basically, right? Because that's one of the niggas that done shipped his own goddamn ship. And it's like, damn, bro, you out here tripping now. You think everything against you. You think it's daggers everywhere now. Do you want to live on the edge of thinking daggers everywhere? That's when you put yourself in a mental hell that you cannot escape out of. So unless you figure out a spiritual way, unless you know how to get to God, that's the only way that you're going to be able to be forgiven. You feel what I'm saying? Because you have consciously broke and took the world of what a man says, one ideal of how he didn't like the world, and 9 times out of 10, this is when someone get mistreated, right? This is just like the rappers and stuff. Why y'all don't never tell us somebody tried to touch y'all, somebody raped y'all when y'all doing good, when them people paying y'all? Soon as them people ain't paying y'all, soon as them people ain't giving y'all what y'all want, here y'all come with that bullshit. Or soon as one of them people needs something done, here y'all come with that bullshit. Same shit, bro. And I'm about to get on this nigga next, boy. I'm getting on his ass. Yeah, I'm on your ass after this video here, boy. It's got to be 2 videos in a row. I've been missing out on a lot of shit. So I'm dropping these bangers and I'm breaking swords. A lot of content in this motherfucker. You right? Straight up. We gonna be talking about shit because one thing about it, this ain't no booklet, my nigga. No nothing. No internet. No nothing pulled up. This is straight off the dome type of shit that you automatically get when you're working with God. God give you gifts and shit that people in this world might not be understanding. Now, you trying to figure out how it might have got in this world if I ain't see it. No, that's y'all fucking problem. The same way. That's exactly what the spirit is. The spirit be like, look, they want to see me so bad. They got cartoons where if a motherfucker die, he look like his dead self. Now, what type of shit is that? If you watch, basically what I'm saying, if you got lost somehow, you need to work on your shit because that means you're spiritually distracted. If Shaggy died, they'll make Shaggy look like Shaggy, the ghost. But people don't realize they're putting out an image for you to be able to see what's going on or understanding that this is his ghost. So then they get tricky, right? They got some movies where they don't tell you that the person's a ghost, but the ghost is in the area doing a lot of physical movements and shit. There we go again. Once again, they still got your ass to believing, hey, some type of form of physicalness. And a lot of people don't understand. It's so deep with that shit. When we start even talking about material, like Earth is not actually talking about the Earth, this material of this world. We're talking about the shit that been drawn out. And I like to tell people that because that's like a quick, simple way of saying it. So it's like, hey, even though you can't see the spirit, you can see when God works, right? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, I might can't see it, like see when it's working, but I can see when it happened. So this is what we say when we say the dimensions is separated with the 7th, 8th, and 9th being the heavens, the spiritual realms, and we say the realm of the mind is the 4th, 5th, and 6th, which is the realm of the living, and the realm of the dead is the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, which the you know what I'm saying, which is where how we be brought into this earth and stuff like that. So when it comes down to that, a lot of people can see miracles, and that is the reason why, because it works through the 6th dimension, right, where we're able to see things that's not here and to be able to see things that's in here. And sometimes that even get confusing. So that's the reason why they made those extra things. So even the Illuminati look like they get to a point where you can actually tell that the reason why they're called Satanists and Luciferians and shit like that is because they're turning their back on God. They're rather, hey, fuck you to, they'll be like, rather them, they're really saying that though. They'd rather like say, fuck my naturalness and experience throughout things and morphing it with others. We're going to tell something what to do. We're going to tell it that's how it works. This how it works. And don't understand stuff still happen naturally. Right? Animals that wanted to breed with each other that we don't know about and discover way later still do what they do. And scientists don't know how to appear it or none of that sometimes. But instead of them not saying that they don't know how, they just name it a whole nother creature, but give it the same creature background as the other one, but then name traits and stuff that has nothing to do with the other creature and stuff, but tell you it's the same creature. And just like they do in the education system with the Western astrologers, while telling everybody the same fucking thing. You only got a sun sign in there. So now we got to deal with everybody right now. If you said one thing, you be like, hey, what you will? They'll quickly only say one sign. They're not going to say what alignments you have. They're not going to say that. They're going to say, what's your sign? Like you have one. And I made a whole breakdown on that. Why is it so important? But at the same time, you can't say get rid of the Western because it's showing you how to survive and live throughout the day, throughout the month to month, right? So if you're not going by that, your ass going to get ate up. You feel me? And then sometimes we automatically have things inside of us going on. You have oppositions inside of you, retrogrades inside of you that's already going on before you even came in contact with having a retrograde with the rest of the world, aka the heavens. So you gotta, the heavens. So when you come in the world, you gotta worry about the heavens now. So I'm not getting this mixed up with nobody, but y'all need to understand it is separation between the three. It's a separation between the earth, the world, and heaven. If you want to look at it, the world, just say the mind, the overall mind that we can all see. So no matter if we thoughts and stuff, we can tell by somebody's thoughts, look what they built. Like, this their invention. This is what they came up with. So even when you look at cars and shit like that, we can't sit here and just give the credit and ability to one person. It's always a group of ideas and stuff. But for them to keep the shit pumping into one area, that's the way that they'll control it. So that's why I be trying to break down to y'all. The only areas you can fulfill is the areas they offering you, which is some type of educational branch, which is saying that you have to take this education to be part of this. So, oh snap. So your mama can't be your doctor, even if she see you bleeding right now and knowing that you all right. They'll rather have a doctor tell you all right and stuff like that. So this build that your family can't even trust you. So people with me, no matter how well educated I am, it would look out to some of the outskirts like, hey, if they had somebody that's smart in their family, why they ain't listen to him? Or somebody that spiritual, why they ain't reach out to him, right? But that'd be on like some low level shit of the people that's been like, oh, they don't think but one-sided, right? And we can't fix them all the time. So we got to worry about the ones that will really know what's happening, which they is. And that's the reason why I get on here and shit and give out my message, bro. You know, this shit go on in my head every day. This shit go on with me. This is my life. I'm in the spirit realm, tapped in that motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? My body be in this bitch, but I be gone, bro. I be using that mind to be that little, get in a little alien spaceship just to escape this world, to actually be able to go through the moon and stuff like that. But these people talking about landing on the moon and stuff, y'all got to pay attention to how they be trying to code things. But anyways, man, I'm out of here. OG Drip.